Oh, we have an insane episode for you this week. First, we are joined by 8-time Classic qualifier, 2-time Bassmaster winner, 9-time FLW Tour winner, the one and only John Cox. But that's not all. It gets even more insane when we are joined by 2-time Classic qualifier Logan Parks and the mastermind behind the NSANE Tournament. And he brings along a whole cast of character. And guess what? Cast of characters? And guess what? They all join me this week. I'm
Bob Cobb from the Bassmaster. Welcome to Mercer.
Welcome one, welcome all, friends, family, freeloaders, fishing freaks, and of course you, my humpers. Happy hump day to all of you, and welcome into the Awkwardly Honest Fishing Podcast that goes by my last name, which is Mercer. This is the 239th edition of the Mercer Podcast, and I hope wherever you're watching or listening from that life is treating you well. I thank you all for taking a little time away from your busy lives to tune into this particular show, and I promised you an insane episode, and I think we're going to deliver. I mean, we kick things off with the amazing John Cox, and his conversations are always quite insane. They go a lot of different directions. And as if that's not enough, then we are joined by Elite Series Pro, 2-time Classic qualifier Logan Parks, and he's basically Captain Insane because the NSANE Bass Tournament was his thought and his creation. And what he is doing for collegiate and high school anglers is truly insane. So he joins the show, and he doesn't come alone. He brings a whole insane crew of anglers that, well, had pretty insane weeks. So I think you're going to enjoy all of this. But before we get into this show, I had a pretty insane week myself. I checked one off the bucket list. You guys know I'm ridiculously addicted to swimming with da fish. I've swam with, largemouth, smallmouth bass, walleye, pike, trout, salmon, sharks. But there was one species that, if you're an avid viewer of this show, you've probably heard me say I've always wanted to swim with a muskie. They are incredibly tough to get to stick around when you're down there. I've seen them, but generally they just kind of coast away and throw you the fin. But this past week, I found a friend on the St. Lawrence River, a giant muskie, and I got to swim with him for 45 minutes, and it was, well, nothing short of majestic. It was truly incredible to cruise along with an apex predator that he was in such crystal clear, beautiful water. It was just awesome. Just a special bucket list moment. And I can't wait to show you guys the footage. We'll be releasing a lot of it on YouTube and, all our different socials and stuff like that. It was just a magical time. It was cold. Don't get me wrong. 46-degree water temperature. Still battling some shrinkage, but it was worth it. And here's the crazy thing. Hopefully I'm not done. I'm trying to get back out there at least one more time if the weather allows. I have a plan. I'm going to double up wetsuits. I'm going to just put 2 of them on, and hopefully that keeps me somewhat insulated. But it's just a magical time of year. The water is so clear, and let's be honest, the fact that the water was 46 degrees is probably part of the reason that the muskie kind of hung with me. So I'm going to go try check on him again and some other fish and see what we can get, because I love it. I'm freaking addicted to it. And if you didn't think I was addicted to it, well, let me remind you, the water was 46 degrees, so clearly I have a sickness. So I'll be trying to do that. But got a great show for you here this week. I want to thank you guys for tuning in each and every week. If you like this podcast and this is something you tune into every week, I'll remind you, we're in the middle of a battle to win an award. I mean, it's a 3D printed medal, and God knows that's the gift that keeps on giving. It's going to be tough to win this, but I need your help. Best on Tour, a newsletter that most of you should be subscribed to. It's free of charge. You learn lots of behind the scenes stuff. They're having a Best on Tour awards. They got a bunch of different awards that they're giving away. We're up for Best Podcast. And we got to try beat Bass Talk Live. Going to be tough. Got to try beat Bass After Dark. Going to be tough. I need your help. I will put the link down below in the comments and in the description. Get on over there. It's free of charge. Vote for Mercer to win Best Podcast. And if we don't, well, nothing changes. I mean, we'll just be second best or third best. Or it's fine to be nominated, but it'd be cool to win a 3D printed medal for whoever wins, which it would be nice if it was us. It's such a weird thing. I mean, I don't even want to ask for votes, but you kind of have to, or else you just get your teeth kicked in, you know? And I mean, it's kind of one of those questions. Is it more uncomfortable to ask for votes, or is it more uncomfortable to get your teeth kicked in? You can see the direction that I chose to go, and hopefully you choose to vote for us. But let's jump right into things, and we'll be reminded of why you should vote for this show. And that is with some incredible guests we have here this week. And first, to kick things off, the always entertaining, I should be better at adjectives, John Cox. John Cox is edgy today. You're on the edge because you got what do you got, 100-pack of what?
Plastic razor blades. I'm taking my wrap off. I'm very excited to sell my boat. And, I'm at the point of that year, if I don't sell the boat, then we won't have Christmas. But hopefully we have a few months left.
Well, I mean, in Florida, it shouldn't be hard to take that wrap off. It's nice and hot.
Yeah, you would think that. But, my wrap's on there very, very well this year. And, it's taken a few days to get it off.
A few days.
I'm probably 5 days in. Yeah. I mean, we did have a little cold front. It got down in like the 70s and made it a little tougher. But, now we're back in that, 82, 83 range. Hopefully it'll come off a little easier today.
Is 70s a cold front to you?
Yeah. For me, I'm like, jacket, long pants. Yeah, definitely here, it's, anything when it gets that low 70s, 65 or so, it's a cold front.
Well, I wish the next time I'll see 70, I'll have to fly.
Yeah.
But hey, the water temperature where I'm swimming is in the mid 40s, so it's all good.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, what hypothermia? I mean, I don't know. You got to be careful doing that, Dave.
I'm very hardy. I'm very hardy, I believe. Yeah. It's weird when you get that kind of cold. You're still cold days after. Like I'll be like, I'll have had 100 showers. I'll have, think I'm heated up, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, my spine's cold, like for no reason. But hey, I like to swim with fish.
Yeah. We like watching you swim with fish.
Well, I'm like, it's good that somebody likes it. It's a weird addiction, dude. Like I literally, so I have to go to Erie to shoot a show tomorrow.
Right.
Which I'm excited about. They'll be on fire. It's usually really good. And I'm kind of bummed that I'm not going swimming. Like, is that wrong? Is it wrong that I'm to the point where I'm like, I got to shoot a show. I got to go fishing and not swim today.
Yeah. I think it's something with being able to get that close to the fish. You know? I mean, I've been intrigued by that from day one. I had aquariums as a kid and stuff. And that is something that, I love to see what's actually happening under there in real time, And I think you learn a lot too. I mean, that's when I lived in this house that was right on the water. I mean, that's what I did every day. I went out there, fed the fish, like, and just watched how they reacted, watch how the weather changed them. And it made me really, I think it made me realize a lot of things I didn't realize just fishing all the time,
Yeah. I think there's something in us too. It's like humans. Like, I think when you're a kid, you just do all this stuff. But as you become an adult, you stop flipping rocks over and looking for crayfish. You stop doing things that, were fun. You stop catching frogs and feeding bass and stuff like that. So I think there's, I don't know, there's just something, it's my addiction anyways.
Yeah.
What did feeding those fish, tell me some of the things it taught you.
I want to say mostly, a lot of times you fish an area and you're like, oh man, all the fish died in this lake. What happened? And so much is usually weather related. Kind of like we talked about earlier about swimming, and this guy swam by this alligator for 10 years, by my house here. It never messed with them, nothing, no close encounter, anything. And then one day that alligator decided to slide in there and eat the guy. And I just think the bass and fish and stuff are similar, where they all live together, and then and then when they have to eat, for survival, they just go ahead and eat.
Yeah. Yeah. You were the most instinctual. Like, you're highly known as the instinctual angler, like the guy who doesn't, no graphs or no nothing like that. Do you feel a pressure with that? Like, it's become a thing. Like, now, like, if you went that direction, people may pick at your house.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they might more than pick at the house. I don't know. I mean, it makes me nervous, but I fight it. I mean, I want to try some of that stuff, but I mean, I love it so much. Almost going back to that thing we're talking about. Fishing as a kid, flipping over that rock, feeding the bass frogs or lizards down here. I think the fishing. I'm fishing very similar than that I fished ponds when I was a kid, when I ride my bike there, or in the John. I mean, one time I remember I found this canoe in the trash, and it had this huge, it like fell off the person's truck or whatever. The whole side was busted in, and I took it home and I like epoxied and glued this whole side up on it. And, I put it in this pond, and I was so pumped. I loaded it with all my tackle, my 3 rods, and slid it off the bank and jumped in it. And I built up that side so much that I didn't make it 10 feet off the bank, and I just flipped it right in the lake. I lost all my stuff. I had boxes floating. I was swimming back to shore. Oh, I was so upset.
Oh.
But I don't know where I was going with that. But that's the part. Sorry, that just popped me. That's the part of I think I fish now the same way I fished as a kid. It brings me back, makes me feel young again when I go out there, and I'm like, man, I caught the fish this exact same way, when I was 10 years old, 12 years old. And it's what I love, So.
How are you feeling going into this season?
I'm excited every season. This season, I might be just a tad bit more excited, with our changes and some of the places we're going. We're going to, the 2 rivers we're going to that kind of unknown. A lot of guys don't know about, the Arkansas River and the Columbus Pool, Mississippi River. And I'm excited about our schedule. I'm excited every year. We got a whole new bunch of guys coming in, and man, it is. I like the competition. I like going out there, and trying to compete with these guys. And I don't know. I'm excited. It looks good. It's going to be a good year next year.
The young guys, what does that do? Like, when you see, like, yet again, the new class of anglers coming in. The guy who won Angler of the Year, Fisher Anaya, is 19 years old. Like, to have anglers that young, what does that do to you mentally? Is it just another guy you got to try beat, or does it excite you?
It makes me feel really old, but but yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting, just like, just like anything, we're like, whether we're playing ping pong or pickleball or whatever it is, I mean, it's fun competing against the younger guys. And even though, they whip up on me in a lot of that stuff, I feel like hopefully fishing, I'll be able to hang with them, still.
Yeah, I think you can. You've done pretty good. What would a 19-year-old John Cox do on the, like, if we could go back in time and you could make the Elite Series at 19, how do you think you would have done?
I would have probably not been able to handle it. I wouldn't have been. I was too immature. I think. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm glad I didn't get into it that early. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I fished then. I fished tournaments every weekend then. As serious as I could, practicing a couple days before and trying to work with Keith during the week. But I just don't know. I don't know if I could have handled the, I don't know. Which I think is great. A lot of these kids do have their parents come with them, which is probably for the best.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how I do.
So what do you think your biggest problem would be? Like, what your immaturity would you have not shown up or?
Yeah. I mean, I would show up. I mean, it wouldn't be on time. That's for sure. And I mean, I don't know. I just, I look back now and like where I'm at now. I think honestly, I took it seriously and fished hard, but like, those years when I had Benji with me, and he really pushed me like, hey man, you need to get up, you need to practice all day. No quitting if you're not like it really, it made me it took my whole fishing to another level, and that was kind of like, I think that was maybe around like 13, 14, 2013, 14. And then, and I started doing a lot better, and, yeah, I don't know. It's just hard. I mean, some of these guys though are dialed though. They got, they already have it together at 19. Hopefully.
I think you figured out something, and I mean, this season will teach us a lot. But I think one of the biggest negatives for some guys with forward-facing sonar isn't so much the technology; it's knowing when to focus on the technology and not focus on the technology, because you have a group of anglers that they're all about that. And then you have a group of anglers that are very good with it, but they're being drawn away. And I think that's what it'll be neat this year, because you'll know. I mean, you won't. You'll always just focus on being John Cox. But for a lot of anglers, they'll know, okay, now I got to shift gears and I got to be all in with forward facing in this event. And I got to not obviously pay attention to it on that event. Does it concern you that there's going to be events where everybody's going to try to be John Cox? Oh
yeah, no, I mean, I've seen that already in some of the ones I've gone where I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's 10 of us fishing the same one tree that's in the part of the lake, and it'll probably be a little crowded on some of them, but that's the whole thing. I mean, we're all out there competing, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting season on all accounts. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're going to see a lot of different stuff this year, and it's going to be fun. You're one of the busiest pros in the world, dude. Like, I mean, you fish every circuit there is. Do you ever get like burnt out? Do you ever get tired of fishing?
No, I don't know. I got a little tired towards the end of this season. I think I had like 4 in a row in like October, and it was right in the middle of when we were, had gator tags and stuff. And like, I haven't seen the kids. The kids just started sports back up. So I was a little, I was tired of being gone then. I wasn't tired of fishing. I still fished here. Like when the kids went to school, I'd go fish while they were at school or whatever. But yeah, no, but I love it. I definitely have an addiction to it. I go a few days and then I'm just like, man, That's my wife one day, she was like, let's see if you can go 24 hours without saying anything about fishing or bringing it in. Like, it's not possible, you know? I mean, that's our life. Like, we don't, so I don't know. It
Yeah,
lasted about 30 minutes.
it's so odd. That's why when every once in a while, there's obviously been a lot of news with the no information rule, and every once in a while, but you'll hear somebody say, well, anglers shouldn't be able to even talk about angler, like, people in the tournament. And I'm like,
Yeah.
do you know how awkward everything would be if you couldn't talk to another competitor about fishing? Like, people's conversations would last 3 minutes. It'd be like,
Oh,
so
what are we talking about?
how's the family?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some weather we're having, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what else? What else is there to talk about?
What do you think of the no information rule? You like the way it is, or do you think it needs some changes?
Jeez, I don't know. That's one of the rules that I never really, I didn't really ever worry about it, or because I got like, no, I don't think no one's gonna tell me I'm gonna go do what I'm gonna do no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell me where the winning fish are or whatever, and I'm gonna go do what I enjoy doing, and so like to me, it doesn't. I don't really mind it. I don't really care. No information, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I feel terrible for some of these guys. If they're just getting caught up in some kind of like whatever it is, social media or whatever, like not necessarily trying to cheat, but and then I think it's, and then on the other hand, it's probably good that we're being more strict on it, but I don't know.
It's a weird one. Because last year, I mean, the one thing that nobody talks about, like, there's a big push now. People saying, "Oh, it should just be 30 days." Well, I don't know if you remember, but last September, Bass literally tried to switch it to 30 days, and it was a mutiny amongst the anglers. Like, I personally talked to 80 anglers, that week that were, this can't happen. I mean, they wanted it to stay the way it is, and now there seems to be a push to go the other. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to make everybody happy. I mean, I'm just glad we're all going to go have a tournament, go fish somewhere. I mean, but I don't know. I don't know what the answer is on it all. Problem when you go to the 30 days and then you got guys, like for me, fishing as many tournaments as I can. I'm not going to pre-fish.
Yeah.
Sometimes I barely make the practice. And some of the people that are just concentrating on our night events, they're going to go that 30 days before, go fish with, the best local on the water and really, get dialed in. But I don't know. I don't know what to do.
You don't seem to spend a lot of time worried about. Like, I feel like you just fish. Like,
I don't really care what everybody else is doing.
It's a good way to live life, John.
I know. I don't really, I mean, I don't have many responsibilities. I mean, pretty much keep the power on at the house and feed the kids at least once a day.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't,
just once a day.
I mean, at least once a day.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps them healthier.
Yeah.
You said you're addicted to fishing. Is your addiction to fishing stronger, or your addiction to Slurpees stronger?
Oh man, oh no, I can't. I had a Slurpee yesterday. I was gonna say I haven't had one in a few days, but oh god, now I realize, now it makes me think I really do have a problem, because now I'm like trying to think of how to deny this, that I'm not addicted to Slurpees, and man, I haven't fished in like 2 days, but yeah, I'd have to say, if I had to quit one, it would have to be the Slurpees over the fishing.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to quit the Slurpees?
Oh yeah. I did the beginning or the end of one season. No, maybe it was the beginning of it was the end of a season. I quit all through October, November, December, got into January, was doing fine, and then we had our first tournament like Okeechobee or somewhere, and I had a Coke in there just, I was quitting Coke, soda completely.
Wow.
I had a Coke in there just in case I wasn't getting any bites. And it was like 12 o'clock. I'd have a fish in the boat, and I cracked that sucker and started chugging it. And man, it was so good. Oh, it was so cold. I remember it and this is probably 5 years ago. And man, I went to catching them. I think I caught 26 pounds after I drank that thing.
Wow.
And I was able to it just relaxed me, And so I don't know. I try to quit sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean, if a Coke gets you 26 pounds, there's a lot worse things you can do.
That's what I'm thinking, And I think too, I could be a smoker,
Yeah.
I feel like the Slurpee's the same thing. I drink the Slurpee. I could, I would love to drink a Slurpee right before I go to bed, I would.
Could you sleep right after?
Oh yeah. I drink the Slurpee, and I'm brain quits running 100 miles per hour, and I can just pass out.
Wow.
So I don't know.
So when you drink a Slurpee, do you think you get the same? Like me and you have talked about your mother. Your mother's a famous smoker. When you see your mother smoke, or your mom makes Seth Feider. When you see Seth Feider smoke, I mean, he loves it. Do you feel the same way when you drink a Slurpee?
I that's how I can relate to the smokers. I would have to say, it's very, very similar. That whole, and that's the thing. My mom, she actually just had to quit because she had
oh gosh,
she had a. This is for you guys smoking out there, which is terrible. I didn't know, but it was our lower aorta ruptured, so it popped, and I was like, "Mom, you're fine. Go to sleep," And my brother's like, I think I should take her to the hospital. And I was like, okay. And luckily he did, and they bypassed it. Everything's fine now. But they were saying it was from her smoking what made it balloon-like, And it's just crazy, But she called me as soon as she woke up, we ran home and stuff. She called me the next morning, and she was like, John, you got to get me out of here. I need to smoke so bad. So it's terrible how addicting that is.
Yeah.
But she's gone, I think, 2 weeks now without him. So I don't know. I'm going to check on her here in a little bit. Hopefully she hasn't fell off the,
Yeah. Well, I hate to hear that, but thank God she's doing okay. And
oh, yeah, she's doing good.
Thank God your brother's around to make responsible decisions.
yeah. That's true.
Today's high-tech fishing world can be a real pain in the neck, especially if you're running the wrong mounts. Beat Down Outdoors, they bring the graph to you. And they support this podcast and care enough about you to make this a short ad read. Check out Beat Down Outdoors. Now back to the show.
Of your tournament success, you've won a bunch of events at every level, every league, basically, except for the Elite Series, which that's coming. Sorry to bring that up, but I know it's coming.
Yeah. Wow, Dave. Oh.
I'm sorry. When you win, do you if you looked at all your victories, how many of them could you have predicted? Were you on the fish and pre-fish, or what percentage are that versus ones where you're I just started putting it together through the event?
Yeah, I want to say almost all of them were putting it together during the event, and I want to think maybe half of them something happened where I didn't make practice, or I practiced maybe 5 hours or which is really weird, and it's I've actually saw this happen towards the end of this season, where I had incredible practices, and it made me so worried going into the tournament because it was man, this isn't going to hold up, and so I think, I want to say most of the time when it's gone, when it's all fallen into place, it's, usually first day of the tournament, where it finally clicks, and what I'm always trying to figure out is when you win those tournaments, you usually have this 4 days of fishing where you don't miss any fish. Everything's kind of flowing. You go to this spot, no one's there. You go over there, no one's there. Or you pull behind somebody and you catch them. And then it's just weird how then you can go out and then miss every fish that bites you. Everywhere you want to go, there's a boat sitting. It can go so good and it can go so bad. And I don't know. I don't know what I don't know why it's like that. But
How do you have ways to switch it when it's going bad, or are you not in control?
I mean, usually when it's going bad, this year I had a lot of that happen, which was, occasionally I'd have one day where it would kind of go good, but for the most part, that's when I relate to my Coke drinking, my Celsius drinking, and I might mix a water in there with them, but usually that's what I try to do to kind of reset the day, like if it's just not working out, I'm missing fish, can't get on anything. And then sometimes I just have to completely scrap everything and start over. Be like, I haven't been, all the boats are in this one area. Everywhere I'm trying to go, there's people. I'm just going to go over here where I haven't seen anybody, haven't got any bites, and try to get, something going.
Do you try to stay away from people on the water, or are you comfortable in a crowd?
Yeah, I don't like being around anybody. I can't stand when I get an area and I get a couple bites and then can't ever get back on the spot, or get back, or once I find where they are. So I try to do my own thing, try to stay away from everybody, and it has hurt me a lot too. I think sometimes because a lot of times a lot of the fish are all together, the good schools and stuff. But sometimes it's worked out. I've gone the other way or just been away from everybody and, had a whole area to myself sometimes. So, yeah.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you on the water? Like when you see fellow competitors, are you just like, hey, welcome? Are you like this son of a, I can't believe he's coming here?
So when I'm riding down the lake, I'm everybody's best friend. I'm hitting the horn. I'm waving at everybody. But then when I put the drone motor in and start fishing, oh man, I'm on edge. Oh, don't even look up at me. No, I'm just kidding. It's crazy how intense it can get. And then at times, I mean, we were I don't know, I guess it was the classic this year. I was catching them in this hole, and I mean, I'm calling 3-pounders.
Yeah.
And Carl comes in or whatever, and Carl's got like one fish. It's like noontime, and I keep catching him, and he's just watching me, and I was like, oh god, I'm like Carl, come throw your chatter over here, and and he comes on, and it made me feel good, man. I mean, watching him, I mean, it made me feel good watching him catch some, and yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I'm very up and down, I would say. I think at first I'm very like, man, don't be fishing near me or whatever, or give me some space. But then, and then once I have them, then it's like, oh man, I want everybody to do good. I want everybody to get paid. And, I don't know.
Which one of your senses do you think is most important in your style of fishing?
Oh gosh. I used to, I mean, I would think my eyeballs, but I don't know, being able to see, because I'm always like watching for the changes, like weather in the water, seeing the bait change and stuff. But I want to say probably, I think that gut feeling that like you get to like, oh, do this or do that. I feel like that is like, now I'm getting older, like, man, it's getting like stronger and stronger every year. It's like, man, just do not second guess anything. You already know what to go do, and so that's probably, I don't know.
Do you ever argue with that feeling? Like I find myself on the water, like having like, there's certain, whatever.
Yeah.
Throw anything, throw a spinnerbait.
Yeah.
Throw a spinnerbait. And I'm thinking it, but I'm always like, yeah, I'll throw it after I try this or after I try this.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you finally do, you catch fish and you're like, you idiot, you should have just listened right away.
Should have done that. Yeah. And I think that's when, I think when tournaments kind of go south or don't go right, I think a lot of times it is, me fighting with myself, being like, oh, I know I could slide out here and catch them, but boy, it's really fun if they would get back here in this back corner or, get up in the shallow or like for me, I'm such a sucker for like top water and swimming the jig and stuff like, that you can visually see them eat. And a lot of times that bite's not there. I need to back off. Crank a little bit. Throw spinnerbait a little more. But yeah. So yeah, I think I still have those battles in my head constantly. But when I do calm down, and just go with it, it seems like it goes pretty good.
Do you believe in luck in fishing?
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of luck. I think it's more being in the right place at the right time, kind of thing. And but I have I can remember one tournament I won at Rayburn, and I'm catching them, are all the same size. Then all of a sudden I catch this one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a huge one, and it's got the Fritz side, one hook, in the very back of its tail. And I catch this almost 7-pounder. I fight him all the way to the boat, and it's got one of the Fritz side hooks in him. And I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to get this fish in. And I get him in, and I end up winning that tournament, pretty much because of that fish. So I think that part, that's got to be, that's lucky,
Yeah.
That's got to be part of the luck,
Yeah.
So,
There's you see luck happen in every event. You know what I mean? Like somebody. Dude, we've seen people get a backlash, be picking on a backlash.
That's true.
And then they're like, oh, that's luck. There was no. What is the luckiest bass you've ever caught in a tournament?
That one at Rayburn's probably one of the ones I remember most. Gosh, I want to say there was the one that I was thinking too. There was this fish on the bed at Harris Chain. I thought it was like a 15-pounder, and I barely made day 3 cut. I'm like, I'm staying all day. I'm going to catch that thing. I'm going to weigh in a 15-pounder, on the Bassmaster Elite, bring it up there. So I stayed on that thing for like 4 hours and finally caught it, and it was pure luck. And then as I was leaving the canal, I caught 3 more keepers, and had a limit, and, jumped all the way into the top 10. And that was probably one of my luckier fish catches.
How can you say it's pure luck if you stayed on it for 4 hours? I would say that's also determination or obsession.
Yeah. I guess it's because I've stayed on fish for a long time, other times, and like that long, and not caught them.
Yeah.
So I think it was luck that it, that one finally after that. Because a lot of times I feel like those ones, once you get past that hour and a half mark, you're probably not going to catch them. There's either something wrong with the fish, whether it was caught or mouth's pinched, or you never know. And so
did you change something for that fish to bite, or did it just snap?
I got right over top of them. I'm talking like cane pulled them. I got so close to that fish. I'm doing all the tricks. I'm like way back. I'm casting. I'm over here. I'm changing directions. I'm doing everything you can possibly. I'm sneaking up on them. And finally, I was so upset. I just trolled right up to him, put the reed over the side of the boat, put my foot on it, and I just dropped it straight down. And I just jiggled it like I had him on a cane pole, and it sucked it right in. I couldn't believe it. I was so mad. Oh.
Do you think the shade of the boat made him more comfortable, or do you think you pissed him off? Or
I think the boat pissed him off. I think the boat made him mad, and he was like,
yeah, this thing.
I'm gonna eat. He was exhausted. She was exhausted too, because she was running off, and then there was this otter that I swear to you, this otter was coming up, and he was chirping at me and stuff, and I'm like, hey, I'm like casting out, trying to get him to get away from it, and I'm telling you, there was a second where this otter, I don't know if he got on her back or something, but all of a sudden she took off. Otter took off. Then the otter was gone. The fish came back, and it had claw marks on the back behind the gills, where this otter tried to hang on to this fish. And then the fish was there, and it was breathing so heavy. She was, her gills were going. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, and I thought I was seeing things. I'm 4 hours on this fish. I'm like, I am losing it. And because I'm like, there's no way that otter just rode on the back of that bass, And then I caught her, and I was like, oh my gosh, crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never would have imagined. So did the otter help you or hurt you in that situation?
I don't know. I hope the otter was actually there and that actually happened, but 4 hours in working that fish, I was losing it. I was like, you know, I don't know. I probably would have just loaded it up if I wouldn't have caught that fish. At
Oh,
least
wow.
I'm checking out early.
I feel like you robbed the world by not telling me about the otter on stage, or maybe I just forget about it. But the otter riding the bass.
I was in such shock, because I caught the male finally. I shook him off a bunch, and then I was like, I need to catch the male. I caught the male, and it was like, I thought it was 2 pounds, and I think it was 4 pounds. And then the one I thought was 15 was only 11. It was skinny. But then I had these 2 really nice fish, and I was like, man, 3 more keepers, I'll make the top 10. And I have literally 15 minutes to make it into weigh-in, and I catch 3 more keepers, and then raced in, and it was like, made the top. I was probably up there out of breath, and I was like, I probably couldn't get any words out.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think the otter was trying to do? Do you think it was trying to eat the bass? Like,
that's what I mean, with the way the marks looked like, it looked like he grabbed them almost like he tried to put his hands in through the gills and then bit like he was trying to bite right in the back. God. In between where it was and like Dave, I swear that thing, he was riding that bass. It was crazy.
It's shocking. Like, otters look cute in the zoo and everything. Yeah. When you see them in that pool, they're awesome. But if you watch them, it is crazy the amount of fish they eat. Like, we see them here at the house all the time, and especially where it stood out to me is in the winter. We'll have like a group of otters that'll come in, and they'll come up through, ice fishing holes. But you see them, so I guess they eat above the water always, or at least these ones did. I would assume. But every time you see them above the water, they have a fish. Like, it's like, and I've seen them with, they eat a lot of panfish stuff, but I've seen them with bass. I've seen them with big carp. Like, they'll eat. It's shocking what an otter can mouth through.
Yeah, that's what I always heard too. People are like, "Oh man, you get an otter in your pond, they'll clear it out." And I'm thinking like, "Nah, no way." And man, I think they can. I think they can really, eat a lot of your fish.
Yeah,
a lot of your big fish.
Yeah, screw them otters. They're
that
so cute.
That has been on my Instagram though. I have I don't know if you've seen it. I think it's AI, because I feel like everything is AI on Instagram. But it's like those little baby otters, and they're like making the little chirping otter noises. I'm like, oh my God.
Everything is AI. The world is being destroyed by AI. Like, I'm sure you've experienced this, but you see something and you show it. Like, I don't know how my kids can detect everything, but like, I show them anything and they're like, it's AI. Yeah. It's AI. And it's going to ruin the internet. I don't think I look for any kind of as much information on Instagram as I did, let's say 4 or 5 years ago. Compared to now. Now it's like, man, none of this is doesn't seem like there's much real stuff on there. No. The world is becoming less real by the minute.
Yeah, terrible.
Do you think? If you think back to when you were that BMX riding kid, do you think life was better then? Like, not for you personally, but like, just has the world, like the advancements in the world, made it better, or do you think it's pushing us further apart?
Yeah, I think back then, I remember when I was riding, there was like 10 of us that all hung out together, like there was we all rode bikes, and, some of us fished, some of us didn't. I don't know. I think it's helped, like, with like a lot of advancements, and, but I don't know. It was nice back then. God, I feel old talking about back then. It was so nice.
We are old, John.
Yeah, I know.
You're wearing a 40. Button.
I turned 40 December 12th this year. 40 years old.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, I can tell you're wearing a buttoned shirt.
I know. I feel like I need to be a grown up,
Do you feel that pressure of being a grown up?
I do. I feel, I don't know. I feel like my kids, or my oldest kids, they are definitely, more mature than I am, and they're in their 20s. But now that the younger ones are getting up there, Nan's like 16, and Lil, they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow up this year, maybe.
No, I doubt it. I doubt
probably
it.
not. Probably not.
Here's a little gift I'll let you in on. So I turned 50 a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at 40 now and I'm like, God, remember how young I was when I was 40?
Wow, really?
That's why life, here's my theory.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Life should be backwards. You should be born like whatever. So let's say you're born at 90.
Yeah.
And you're an older person, but just imagine how much better your 90s would be if you knew in a few years I'm going to be 80. And imagine how much better your 80s would be if you'd be like, in a few years I'm going to be 70 and 60 and 50, and then I'm going to be 40. And if you reverse, and then I mean it get more stronger and and then now you've got the strength to match the wisdom that you've gained over those years.
Yeah.
And then you spend the last few years feeding off the teat. And you can imagine how you die.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If it's all in reverse, it goes great.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, how much better is life if we could do it in reverse? It would be wonderful. But we can't. So happy birthday, John Cox.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Thanks.
Are you doing anything special for your 40th?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we do something special every other week, so we don't need to. Hopefully, we're not going anywhere.
Well, that's a good way to think about it. You don't like going places, do you?
Well, I mean, I do. I just feel, we travel a lot. Like we were in South Carolina last week with pier fishing, and this in 2 weeks we go to Vexus for a week, and then I got some redfish stuff. So we're always going, So it is kind of nice to come home, and it's kind of like a vacation when we get to come to the house for me, anyways.
Do you think you'll ever retire?
No, I mean, I would think at some point. I mean, I'm worried that I don't know if I'll be able to quit. That's what kind of worries me. Like how a lot of these guys are like, I'm hanging it up, and like I just don't know. I don't know what you do after that. I don't know. I mean, what do you do? I don't know.
I don't know.
Fishing? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really planned well for my retirement.
Me
so
neither. Oh God. Oh, we're in so much trouble, Dave.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we need a life coach or something.
We do. I think a lot of life we figured out, like in a good way, like we're enjoying life. But I feel like at some point I'm going to be like, I should have been smarter. I was not smarter. I got a lesson yesterday, A buddy of mine told me all about how I should be collecting silver and gold and all these things and I'm like, I got some wicked lures.
Yeah. You maybe you could sell all your tackle.
Maybe. And now, my underwater footage that I'm so obsessed with that I thought was my future, I'm like, well, now AI is just going to destroy that in a few years. Everybody's going to be like, even if you shoot something cool, they'll be like, it's AI.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
So where are you in 10 years?
Geez, I that's what I keep thinking. I fish every year. Like I'm like, oh man, I'm hoping I get to go again next year, because really it's really up to the sponsors. I don't have any other. I'm not really making money anywhere else. So it's if sponsors all left, I mean, I'd probably be done. So I don't know. I'm hoping to go as long as I can. I would love to fish. The Bassmasters another 10 years. I mean, I'd love that. That'd be, that'd be huge. So I'd be 50. Yeah. I mean, that would be
my age.
That'd be incredible to make it till then,
Yeah. I think you've got more than that in you, John Cox.
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe a long time ago, maybe if I was born like 20 years sooner, you know.
You think that it's changing?
Oh yeah, Dave.
Why? Because of these pesky kids?
No, well, yeah. I mean, look at the information that you're able to, like. I mean, if I want to learn anything, I can go and watch it, or and the advancements and bait and stuff. I mean, when we go work with the scientists pretty soon on some of our stuff, it's gonna be.
You're not supposed to talk about what.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be. It's crazy. It's
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it is. It's wild.
And I think that's the truth for every business right now. Like I find myself, I go down these mole holes of things, and in the real estate world right now, there's a bunch of realtors freaking out because they're like, well, I came from a different time where we used to knock on doors. We used to do this. And now you got these young realtors that have these massive social media followings. Yeah. And they're even really good realtors, according to these realtors. They just flood it out there on their social media. And that's why they're selling so much, because they're not very good at it. But they're doing it in a different way, and it's not the way I did. So every industry is dealing with kind of digital disturbance, and that it's so easy to learn freaking, like my son. When my son was 12, 13 years old, he built a freaking computer, John. Like he went one summer and he's not a computer building kid. Trust me. He is not, like, when you hear me say my son built a computer, you have a whole different vision of who my son is. But he decided to build a computer. Yeah. And he literally learned on YouTube how to build a computer, and he has a computer that he built. Like, it is wild how quick the thirst. I mean, there's no let off to people's knowledge nowadays. Right. Yeah. Well, so why can't you learn just as quick as them, John?
I mean, I can't, but I think the older I get, the more stubborn I get, Yeah. If I can kind of be a little less stubborn, and, but I don't know,
So how do you get less stubborn? Like, how do you work on that?
Geez, I don't know. I mean, that's something I've been trying to figure that out, And I think it's the older you get, the less patience you have, and you're like, I just want to do it my way. This is what I've done for so long. But I don't know. I think that's what's helped me a lot the last probably 10 years is being a little bit stubborn and realizing, like, okay, this is what I can do well fishing, and kind of stay away from, the fishing out deep and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I guess it's kind of paid off. It's hurt me too, but
it's a weapon. I mean, it's like anything in this sport. It's weird, like where, if you see somebody sit on a spot all day and they don't bite, you're like, gosh, what an idiot. Why didn't he move? But if he stays in that spot all day and catches him, you're like, what a genius to know that it would happen.
Guys, I feel like you've watched me a few times. You're like, what? Will he please move? And I'm like making the same cast. Oh, they're going to show up. I'm telling you.
In that situation, in most time, do you think they show up, or do you think that they were always there and they just decide to eat?
I mean, so I can't see them, So what we are seeing a lot of times, we are seeing the guys, they're like, oh, they're there. They just won't bite. So I think at times they might be, but a lot of times when I'm fishing those spots over repetitively and I'm making the same cast, if they're there, I'm hitting them, whether with my line, my crankbait, my blade, whatever it is, I'm making contact with, I'm hitting fish if they're there. So a lot of times you're not hitting anything, and they're just not there, and
Do you believe that all fish are like catchable, or is there some fish that are just like, they're not going to eat until they want to eat?
Yeah. I think you can trigger them sometimes with the right object in the water, whether it's a log, a rock, there has to be a piece of grass. I think if there is something like that, I feel like you can trigger, 90% of them. But sometimes there's not that piece that triggers those bites. And yeah, unless they're feeding, you're not going to catch them.
Is that what addicts you to this sport? The fact that unlike poker is amazing to me, but there's only Kyle Welcher explains, he's like, there's a limited number of combinations. There is a limit, but in fishing, there is no limit.
Endless. Yeah. You never know what it is. And I think that is part of what really sucks me in. And I really is trying to figure that cast out. I mean, and nothing against the forward facing, but that's part of the unknown casting and feeling and being like, ooh, this is the right cast, this is the right bottom, and then getting bit. It's, not knowing there's one there. That's what gets me going.
Yeah. It is an addiction.
Avco not only makes incredible outdoor clothing, but they care about anglers with their 10% pledge. Avco and the Shed family donate at least 10% of the company's profits to conservation and making fishing better. Now back to the show.
Let's learn a little bit about you before we leave apart. Do you have any pets?
I have a dog. I have a cat. And right now I have 2 pet squirrels.
Like in your attic or intentionally? No, they're actual pets?
Yeah. Well, so I try to save $50 and trim my own palm trees, and I was trimming them and these 2 little baby squirrels fell out of the tree I was trimming and they were small. Their eyes were open though, and they didn't even run from me. And I picked them up and I sat one on each shoulder, and they just stayed there. As I was finished cleaning up. So I had to bring them home, and I actually left them in my office here for they were probably in here for about a week, and I had them in a Tupperware, and I was feeding them with the little eyedropper and stuff. And they loved me. I'd come in, they'd hear my voice. They would all oh, he's going to feed me. And they got kind of big, and they would sleep on the couch here and stuff. But it was crazy. They would just use the bathroom in the Tupperware thing. It was wild.
They were
it was
trained.
They were potty trained. Yeah. And I went out of town for 3 weeks. And so when I came back, they're attached to my wife. She has them. Now they're full grown. And they're on the pool deck. In a bird cage with all kinds of stuff to sleep in, and now they're her babies, and I'm like, listen, you got to let them go, we got to let them, and she can't part with them, and now we open the cage and they won't leave. They want to, they're just oh, this is great in here, but
what are their names?
Oh, we never named them because I didn't think we were going to keep them that long. I was oh, we're just going to let them go, and I don't know what we're going to do. I got them we got them a little wooden house we're going to put up in one of the trees, and hopefully they'll move in there.
I don't know if they will.
I know my poor neighbors the other day, they're right next to us, and they're like, do you guys have pet squirrels? And we're
no.
We're no.
What made you ask such a fool? Why did they think? Did they hear them or something?
I think they saw them. The pool deck's got a wall and then a glass window, and then they're up against it. And Melissa was keeping them covered, so the neighbors wouldn't see them, but the cover somehow blew off or whatever. And so then them squirrels are in there just running laps, and but they're pretty funny. Yeah. Squirrels are pretty neat. They're kind of, all over the place.
Yeah. They're people have ferrets. The squirrels, it's well, we'll see how that. I did not expect you to be talking about squirrels. I thought.
I wasn't. I was trying to think. I was I got. Yeah, they're still out there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're going to leave, John. Do you have any tattoos?
No, I actually don't have any. surprisingly.
Would you get a tattoo?
I don't know. I don't think so. For the longest time, it was always like, man, I'm not gonna pay a few $100s, And I changed my mind all the time too. So like, one day I'd be like, oh, I want this, and next day I'd be like, I want this,
Yeah.
I just never got one.
Have you ever been close, like when you were younger, where you're like, I think I'm gonna get one, or you just always been like, nah,
yeah,
not your thing?
Yeah, not my thing.
Yeah. You'll be very rare senior citizen. I mean, there's not a lot of people of your age group that don't have one.
Oh, I know, and I've gone with a lot of people to get them, but I've just never. I had a guy one time. He caught the biggest bass of his life. It was 12.4. He said he's been 20 years trying to catch a fish over 10 pounds. He catches the 12.4, and that night went and got it tattooed on his arm.
Gosh,
12.4.
That's strong.
I was like,
That's strong.
Yeah.
See, I must be a very positive person because, ironically, my biggest bass is 12.4.
Wow, really?
And I've always been, I'm not getting it tattooed. I'll catch a bigger one day. Probably never will, but I mean, it's pretty strong.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What if you won the Classic? Could we get you tattooed a Classic trophy?
I'm 40 years old next year. If I can win the Classic, I mean, what would I get?
I don't know. We'd figure it out that night, though.
Oh gosh! I feel like this is gonna happen.
Talk it in. I mean, hey.
I feel like I could justify if I win the Classic, and I can blame it on us. We went out that night.
Yeah.
We had the Classic. Maybe I'll get the Classic trophy.
Oh, yeah.
Right above my. No.
Every time you bend over, just that world with the bass on top of it. Oh, what do you got there?
Yeah, when I reach in to grab the fish and my crack comes out, like, oh, that guy won the Classic one time.
Oh, Joey Cifuentes says if he wins the Classic, that he has. This is nuts to me. Like this is next level. He has several brands. Like a horse or a bull gets branded. He has several on his skin.
Wow.
Already. He says if he wins the Classic, I could brand him right on the stage.
Oh my gosh. I hope he does win.
Oh God. Could you imagine like the people that are in the splash well? What is that smell? It's burning human flesh.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I don't think you should ever brand your skin. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, not intentionally anyways.
Yeah.
So let's name the squirrels. Should we have a contest to name the squirrels? Or
why don't we let the listeners name the squirrels?
All right, in the comments, let us know what you think John Cox's squirrels should be named.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope we let him go before this airs, but
I don't think this airs tomorrow, dude. You're not letting him go.
We'll still have them then.
Yeah, they'll still be around. I don't think they're things that get. I mean, it's not easy being a squirrel, especially in friggin' Florida, dude.
Yeah, well, they're only supposed to live in the wild 2 years because they're pretty much food for like owls. Eagles. I mean, everything eats them. And so they're already let's see, what are they? I don't know, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
they're living a good life. My wife cuts up fruit for them and stuff.
Oh, they're not leaving, dude. I'm here to tell you that. Did you ever watch the show The Walking Dead? Did you ever watch any of that?
Nah, I didn't see any of that.
So it's kind of like the world's ending, right? Like and everybody's zombies, but there's like these different groups of people that have settlements, let's say, you know what I mean? So this one guy has a house and it's got a fence around it so it keeps the zombies away and stuff. And every once in a while, people come along and they'll do anything to be part of that community because you're safe in that community.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You are that to the squirrels.
Oh man.
You're Negan.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of strange things in this podcast, John. We've talked about otter that rode a bass, and now Chippy and Chunky, your squirrels. Here's a funny. Do you remember? Obviously, you remember Tripp, tournament director Tripp, and do you remember Chuck, who worked with Tripp? Yeah, they were 1 and 2. They were 1 and 2 tournament directors at the Elite Series. Jeff Crete once had 2 goats. And he called them Trip and Chuck. So yeah, you could do that. You could do that. Yeah. It's been a fun conversation, John.
Always fun talking to you, Dave.
Yeah. Well, now that we're business partners, we're
that's true. Yeah, that is exciting. I can't wait.
Shh, don't.
I know. I have a hard time keeping it in. But we're gonna work on it some.
We're working on
week,
stuff.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're working.
It's gonna be so. Oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Well, this has been a fun conversation. I'll let you get back to day 5 of chiseling off that. I mean, you got 100 brand new plastic razor blades.
Yeah.
They're not gonna.
I'm getting it done
themselves.
Yeah, I'm getting it done this week.
All right. Thanks, dude.
All right, Dave. See you.
Always a good conversation with John Cox, and I thank him for joining the show. And now we jump into things with Logan Parks. What Logan Parks is doing, what's happening in our sport in general, is truly amazing. The amount of youth that are just rabid about fishing is amazing. And that doesn't happen by accident. That happens because of hard work by many people. And one of those people that is putting his money where his mouth is Logan Parks. Logan Parks was a direct benefactor of collegiate fishing, and he has continued to make it better with his NSANE tournament. And you're going to want to watch this because Logan Parks is not just a great angler, but clearly a great human being. And what he's doing both on and off the water truly makes our sport better. Without further ado, Logan Parks. Logan Parks, a lot of people say that, it's all about the future. It's all about the kids. And a lot of people like to say that in this sport, but they really just say it and they don't do it. You, my friend, you're freaking delivering every single year. When you first told me the name of your tournament being NSANE, I was like, okay, I get it. There's a spin to it. But NSANE is right because it keeps getting more and more NSANE every single year.
Yeah, it's insane, man. I mean, it's funny because I say NSANE a lot about a lot of things, and now it's getting to the point where I try to avoid saying NSANE because every time I say it, it's like, oh, the NSANE tournament. But it's my dad actually came up with the name NSANE, NSANE, not to be confused with the band NSYNC, and it stands for something. It actually stands for National Student Angler Networking Events. So that's pretty much what it is. We put on a pretty special event where we bring a lot of high school anglers together with a lot of college anglers. This year we had 400 anglers participate, 200 from each group. We pair them all up through a draft process, and they go fish a tournament together. And a lot of times they've never even met each other before. So it's a really cool networking event. It puts colleges in touch with the high school participants so they can recruit them and see their talent. It puts the high school anglers in touch with, college schools that maybe they haven't even heard of. This year we actually had Campbellsville University sign the first ever scholarship at our dinner, which was really, really cool. But I think over the last 2 seasons we've had 20 scholarships signed because of the event. So we put our money where our mouth is. We're actually, doing something about the future of the sport. I know a lot of people like to say they are about it, but I feel like we're actually making really a big impact, which is cool.
And you just found out before we started recording this, you're now an award-winning tournament.
Yeah. I just met with Auburn Opelika Tourism. They said they had a surprise for me. I never expected it to be an award, but we got the Sports Destination Management Champion of Economic Impact Award. So according to them, this is the biggest magazine in outdoor sports and tourism. And it's pretty cool, pretty official. And that's for last year. This year was even bigger. So maybe we'll go back to back.
Why did you feel the need to do this event?
Man, it really goes back to my roots of growing up fishing. I grew up just pond fishing. I didn't really follow the sport. I wasn't really, like the kid that grew up watching Bassmaster and eat, sleep, and breathing tournament fishing. My parents didn't know anything about tournament fishing, but I did grow up with that love to catch bass. My granddad had a little 3-acre farm pond, and I loved going down there to South Alabama and just throwing a June bug lizard out in the pond and catching largemouth. Fell in love with it. Also played baseball and grew up, playing baseball. And I guess I wasn't that good because I got cut when I tried out for the 8th grade team. I was kind of devastated. What am I going to do? And that's when we heard about other high school teams being started for having fishing teams. So me and a few of my buddies got together. We grew up here in Auburn, Alabama, and started the Auburn High School fishing team. I started, fishing competitively in 8th grade. We fished our first tournament, and I believe our first 5 tournaments we actually zeroed. So it was a huge learning curve to go from, fishing these, uneducated farm pond bass to going out and fishing Lake Guntersville. And I think our first tournament was on Weiss Lake, and it snowed, and we didn't have the proper clothing for 17 degrees snow fishing a tournament. So we had a huge learning curve to climb. And luckily, being here in Auburn, we were connected with people like Steve Kennedy. We grew up with the coach of the Auburn University fishing team at the time, and he brought Jordan Lee to one of our first meetings, who then invited me and my friend to go pond fishing and showed us a bunch of new techniques. And then we began communicating with the Auburn University team, and they began captaining us in some of our high school events. They taught us a lot. So I recognized that, I went on to take my talents to college fishing, but how many other high school anglers maybe were out there like us that didn't have that background, that family, heritage of tournament fishing, that were like me, just trying to find the right path for them. And they like to fish, but they didn't have anyone to really teach them how to. And, I'm fortunate that we had a lot of great connections here in Auburn with the college and all of that. So I wanted to create a program where other college anglers had that opportunity to make an impact on a high school angler's life. Our mission, it's all about, I don't want an angler to give up on fishing due to lack of opportunity. So we're creating that opportunity by bringing these two groups together, creating all of this mentorship and networking. And it's cool to see the stories that come out of it. Some of these kids are best friends still to this day, and they fished together 3 years ago.
It's wild to see, what it's doing. You're actually changing people's lives. But for people that didn't get a chance to see any of it this past weekend, give me a quick, Reader's Digest version of what exactly happened. Like, what is the NSANE Tournament?
Yeah, dude, it's insane. I'm not going to go into too much details of the format because it's kind of hard to explain without a visual. But basically, like I said, there's a draft. So we have a practice period that's 3 days. And the college anglers, they want to catch them as much as they can. We use Fishing Chaos, which is a online tournament management platform. They have an app. So all our whole format is catch, weigh, photo, release. So during practice, the anglers are allowed to use their own personal scales. They'll catch the fish. There's specific guidelines they have to follow, but they'll take a picture of the fish on the scale and submit it through the app. And then that goes towards their total. And it's all that you can catch, everything over 1 pound count. So the college anglers are trying to catch them as much as they can because it determines how quickly they get to pick in our draft. And then on the other side, the high school anglers are also doing the same thing, trying to show that they are a good draft pick. You don't want to be picked last in the NSANE draft. So it's kind of pretty competitive even during practice. We build up to the draft day, which is Friday, where we have an event inside Jordan-Hare Football Stadium. The college anglers pick their high school partners one by one. We have a big, almost like a recruiting fair set up in the Auburn football locker room, where all the colleges have tables set up and the high school kids and their parents get to walk through and meet with the schools and the coaches and get recruited and, just network, which is really cool. Saturday, they go out and fish as a team for the first time. A lot of, the guys have never met before. So this is like a half day of practice. It gives them an opportunity to get to know each other, put together a game plan, have a big dinner celebration that night. And then the tournament is on Sunday. And this year we threw our anglers for another loop. It's already insane enough, but we have 3 rounds of competition. Our first 2 rounds were catch, weigh, release. It's all catch, weigh, release. Our first 2 rounds were as many fish as you can catch. Every fish over 1 pound counts. And then they had to do certain things to get into the championship, which was round 3. And during round 3, we reset the weights to 0 and we changed the format to best 5 fish. So these guys had to kind of completely adjust their strategy from, trying to catch as many as they could to now we've got to target big ones. During the first 2 rounds, they can see the leaderboard, so they know how they're doing compared to their competition. And during round 3, we completely hide the leaderboard, so no one has a clue, and they all have to return back to Auburn to find out who won. So it's a really cool event. We've been growing it year over year. The first year we had 84 teams, 168 anglers. Last year we had 150, so 300 total anglers, and then this year we grew it to 400 anglers, 200 teams. So it's been awesome, and the fish catching just keeps going up. I mean, we doubled what we had last year as far as fish catch, weigh, release throughout the week. This year, the anglers caught 12,832 fish over 4 days, pretty much, of fishing.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's a lot of fish.
Did they know it was switching to 5 fish on the final day, or was that like kind of a last minute announcement?
No, we've been, informing them of this change for a while. That was something that I saw, and it's cool. Like, you see these trends throughout the week of the tournament. Last year, and too, it was kind of a wake up call for me, is like, I've gotten kind of removed from high school and college fishing now. I'm, graduated in 2021, and honestly, I forgot what it was like to have like shitty batteries, like I forgot what it was like to go out there and troll all day on, places like the St. Lawrence River or Tennessee River where there's current with lead acid batteries that died.
Yeah.
And like, I forgot about all those late nights we were trying to find the O'Reilly's or the AutoZone that was open to swap batteries. So last year we had this catch, weigh, release, all you can catch format all day long. And these anglers were trolling on 100 all day long, scoping and trying to catch as many as they could. And like at 9, maybe 10 a.m., the first boat died, and then the second, and then the third. And then by the end of the tournament, there was probably like 30 people who had dead batteries that were trying to switch to their high school anglers' boat. So I wanted to make an adjustment this year to make sure that we didn't have that issue near as much, and, to slow the pace down a little bit. And I think a lot of guys really enjoyed that best 5 fish format at the end. It's cool. We were the first ever tournament to combine both formats of all you can catch and best 5. And it was a nice change. I think it really slowed the pace down. I don't think we had a single angler have dead batteries this year, which was awesome. But it just showed me that, not to forget about my roots and where I came from, and how, it's easy to take things for granted, like just having really good quality lithium batteries in your boat.
Yeah. It grows every year. Is there a cap? Like, where's your ultimate goal? Like, how big is this going to be in a year, 2 years from now?
Man, I had a lot of volunteers come up to me Sunday, and they said, "Great job. Please don't expand it next year." So I don't know. I like to continue to obviously expand and grow the event. The goal is to have multiple events in 1 year. I think we've got we've really hit a home run with our format. It's a unique, completely different experience. And a lot of our anglers say it's the tournament they look forward to the most all year long. This year, our big, change besides that best 5 format at the end of, the tournament was we had live coverage. So we partnered with a live coverage production team, and actually we're live on YouTube and Facebook all day long. We had cameramen in the boats just like I do on the Elite Series, some of the same guys that we have on the Elites. It was really, really cool to give those anglers that experience. And I was really impressed by how well they did on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids were dialed in. They're explaining what was going through their head. There's so much strategy that goes into this format of like, do we lay up in this period, or do we try to catch as many as we can? And like how you make it to the championship, there's a few different paths. So I was really, really impressed with our guys. And I think it really took our event to the next level. But as far as growing it, I don't know how that would be possible to get more than 200 boats. It's about all I can handle. It about drove me insane this year, but it turned out amazing. And, maybe we'll have more than one event or, change venues eventually, but we got something really special and I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I think that part of having them on camera is huge, because I think if there's any knock on the collegiate programs and stuff is a lot of people just don't have experience on camera, and the best way to get good on camera is just be on camera a lot. So giving them that opportunity is huge. What were they competing for? Like, what did you give away this week?
Man, we gave away a ton. We had, it's the highest paying college and high school event, of all time. I tried to tally it up, and I think over all of the prizes, all of the scholarships and everything, the total, giveaway, payout, everything for the event was right at $480,000. So almost $500,000 going back to the high school and college anglers that are, honestly, they're used to fishing for a couple thousand at the most. I mean, most of the high school tournaments are really, you win a pack of baits and a couple rods and reels. So to give them that chance to fish for that amount of money, our payout was $90,000 across our top 20, as well as a couple other groups. We have a mentorship award that we give out every year to, one of the anglers that exemplifies being the best mentor on and off the water. This year we started an award that I'm really happy about. Christine Fisher actually came down to present it, and it was to a lady angler in our field to honor Coach Pam, who was a manual bass team coach that unfortunately lost her battle with cancer earlier this year. But she was one of the first coaches to believe in what we were doing. And I wanted to honor her and also recognize, all of the young women out there fishing in our sport, give them the opportunity to, fish this NSANE tournament. And Claire Yerke actually won that award this year. This is her third year in a row. So she's fished all three tournaments with us, and we're very happy to have her. And then we also gave away a $12,000 scholarship to the number one college at our event, which was the highest ever single college award. And then $30,000 to first place.
Dang.
That's a monster payout for our anglers. Like if they have a Nitro or Ranger, they win another $8,000 on top of that through the White River Marine Contingency. And then, the grand finale, we gave away my Nitro bass boat, Z21 XL with a Mercury on the back of it, fully rigged, fully loaded, NBT electronics. Abu Garcia filled it up with rods and reels, and Berkeley just filled every single compartment up with baits. So it was the full package, over $100,000 value. And that was one lucky participant that got drawn to win the boat.
Wow. I think your biggest problem moving forward is going to be Bassmaster pros actually trying to sneak in and say they're
And then, yeah, definitely. I mean, all day long, people are texting me like, hey, I think I have some college eligibility left. But speaking of Bassmaster, that was another thing that we did this year. Bassmaster stepped up and helped us give opens entries to our top two college participants. So our top two college anglers, first and second, they actually got a free entry into the division of their choice for the Bassmaster Open. So super happy that, Bassmaster is seeing the vision of what we're creating and really just helping us build that stepping stone to the next level.
Wow. Do you ever think you'll look back and be like, is there a moment in time where you'll be on the classic stage and it'll be you and some other snot-nosed punk that you actually helped get to there? Is that concern you?
Oh, it does concern me, man. I mean, there's, I believe, 2 anglers now on the Elite Series that are NSANE alumni already. One just qualified, and one's my former partner, Tucker Smith, and Tucker's already taken my money. So, we're definitely building up a better, competition, training them up. It's not my smartest move for my career, but it is very fulfilling.
I think it's pretty smart. And I say it's what you're doing is amazing. There's a lot of cool events, but this is one of those few events that just constantly gets bigger. I'm blown away. I've never physically been at it, but obviously I followed it online, and what you're doing is amazing. So thank you for what you're doing for the sport.
Thanks, Dave.
It's incredible. But you're not alone here. You have a couple of guests, which are $30,000 richer, correct?
That's right. We had Dalton Head from the University of Montevallo and Jackson Watts from Briarwood Christian take home our title as the #1 college and high school duo.
Congratulations, guys. How does it feel to be the champs?
Feels good, man. Feels good.
Jackson, you're in what, grade 9, and you just won $30,000 or half of $30,000? You must be much more popular at school, not that you weren't to begin with.
It's wild, for sure.
To compete in this event, what does it mean to you? I mean, I look behind Dalton, and your school has reaped a lot of rewards because all those bass hanging behind you, those are insane awards. But what does this event mean to you as a collegiate angler? Like, what do you see happening here?
It meant a lot to me. This is actually my 3rd year fishing this tournament, and last year I was 4 ounces short of winning it. So it meant everything to me to win this tournament, and being able to fish with the younger generation like Jackson, like someone I've known for a long time, and his mom, Miss Jenny. They've been super good to me, and then we've taken them fishing, and so I've known Jackson, and it means a lot to me to take the younger generation out and show them some stuff, and put them on the right track of how it's supposed to be done.
So you actually drafted Jackson, though. I mean, so do you have, like, the closest thing I can compare it to is fantasy football, but you go in there with your cheat sheet on who you want to draft. Was he on your cheat sheet, and why?
100%. And it's really because I knew that Jackson would listen. Jackson is very attentive. He would listen to me. I know he would help me in any form or fashion that I asked. So that's what meant more to me than who I was really picking, that they would listen and be there to work with me and, try to win this thing.
Jackson, did you listen? And follow-up question, what did you learn this week?
I learned a lot, honestly. And this tournament obviously means a lot to me because so young, and being able to compete, honestly, and just have the opportunity to be there means a lot. And it was awesome for sure. So.
And you're only in grade 9, so you got a lot more high school eligibility before you even have to worry about fishing it as a collegiate angler.
Jackson's been with us since the jump. I mean, he's got potentially 10 years of NSANE, talking about 8th through 12th grade. And then if you're like me and probably Dalton, maybe, I don't know Dalton, but I did a little victory lap in college and fished for 5 years. So it's potentially, 10 years of NSANE. That's pretty awesome.
Insane, indeed. You haven't prepped him on that at all, have you? Come on. And the other thing that I keep thinking, like, when you look at, you've got potentially 10 years of NSANE ahead of you. Where is it 10 years from now? Like, if you look where collegiate, never even mind just specifically this tournament, but if you look at high school and college fishing 10 years ago to today, it's unrecognizable. Where do you think it's going to be 10 years from now?
I have no idea. It just continues to grow. It just gets bigger every single year. It's kind of crazy. Like, you'd think it would level out, but it just keeps getting bigger. The fields keep getting bigger. The anglers keep getting bigger. The drive, you can just see the drive in everybody, just the hungriness to win. Like, because it's so hard to win now. Everything actually has to go right. You don't get lucky anymore. Everything has to go right, and light has to be shining on you, and I think everybody is just hungry for that feeling.
Why did you guys win this week?
I think it was because how much we wanted it, how much me and Jackson wanted it. And I know that I spent, 6 days straight out there, daylight to dark, and during the practice days, the half days and whatnot. But, I was that opens entry was a huge deal to me, because that takes a lot out of a college angler, and it's a lot of money for me. So to get that little support and win that, and it was huge. And I'm sure that 15,000 for Jackson is pretty good for him.
For me,
as well.
It was not so much all like winning was not so much all for me. I know he had a lot more on the line with the opens thing and all that. So I was really fishing for both of us, but mainly Dalton to help him out.
Well, it worked out pretty good for you. What techniques were you guys using? How were you catching them this week?
What we did, our strategy was to crack them in the first period, just smoke them. That was our strategy. We were like, we need to get on a hole and absolutely crack them in the first period, to where we ain't got to worry and we can just sail in the championship round. And we pulled into our first place, and pressure. Obviously, there was 5 to 6 boats where we started, and we got in there, and with the short amount of time we had, we knew we couldn't go fishing much. Like, we had to pull up where we really thought they were, but we went fishing for just a little bit, and we ended up finding just one of the most unbelievable holes I've ever seen on that lake. Well, it felt like every bass in that ditch slid to the very back, and all 500 I don't know the number, but it was unbelievable. It was insane how many bass were back there just laying on the bottom, sitting still. So we just trolled around them, set up on them, and just caught them every cast. It was nuts.
What were you catching them on?
We were using my brand new jig head that I just came out with Queen Tackle. It's the Ghost jig head.
You're a collegiate angler and you came out with your own signature series jig head?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That didn't happen 10 years ago.
No, sir.
He's a pretty well-known collegiate angler.
Yeah.
If you look behind him.
Yes, sir.
Already fished the red crest. How old are you, Dalton?
22.
Yeah, you've already fished one of the biggest tournaments in the country, and you're 22 years old. It's pretty awesome, man.
It's been an awesome ride, man. I'm still trying to keep doing it, man. I'm almost about to leave probably one of the best times of my life. College has been unbelievable for me. I'm a 5th-year senior. I'm riding it out. I got one more semester to go, and hopefully I can make the bracket or something. And that's my main goal right now, is making that bracket. I want to make that bracket more than anything. So.
So sorry to interrupt you. So you're saying, I was shocked by your signature series jig. I didn't expect to hear that. So finish what you were using. You were using that. What were you fishing on that jig?
Yes, sir. I was using that Ghost jig head. I was using a 3/8 ounce with a 3/0 in the Cast Echo 275. And I thought that was a really big deal, using the really small bait. The thread fin there is like abnormally, like really small. And I felt like that made a huge difference for us.
So Dalton, your plan is to just keep doing this for the rest of your life, by the sounds of things.
I'm going
right?
to do everything in my power to keep doing this. This has been a dream for me since I've been 5 years old. When they used to hand you that paper and ask you what you wanted to do for a living, it's always been, I want to be a professional fisherman. Everybody look at you crazy, but man, I've been wanting to do this since I could even think about doing it. So.
Well, it's awesome to see. And Jackson, what's your plan? I mean, you are a man of many talents from what I hear. I mean, not only just winning the NSANE Tournament, but you're in Stranger Things 4? Is this true? No big deal, right? I mean, do you realize how uncontrollable my ego would be if I was like an extra on Stranger Things 4? I would literally walk around with a shirt that said, "Yes, I am the man." So it's very good for you to not be as egotistical as I would be.
Yes,
but
sir.
tell me about that.
Stranger Things really helped me grow, honestly, and helped me get recognition from people and stuff. So it really helped me through that aspect of things. And honestly, the on-camera aspect, this weekend we had a camera guy, obviously, and I didn't feel really any shyness towards that after being on camera. So it's really helped me on both sides.
So do you, in 10 years, are you a professional angler or are you an actor?
I have no
idea. Or a little
idea,
bit of
honestly.
both?
I feel like I got a little bit more time to really know about that, but I don't know yet. Yeah.
Kind of got to be both.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I think you guys are an incredible team, and it's awesome to see just how much the mentorship of that program works. And I look forward to watching you both in the future. And,
Yes,
and thanks for joining us
Thanks for
here.
having us
Yes,
on.
sir. Thanks for having
Really
us on.
appreciate it. Sure.
No
Congrats
problem.
again, guys. Good job.
Yeah. Hey, well, did you buy anything with that money yet?
I'm actually going to pay off my
haven't
math
yet.
teacher. I'm trying to get no homework.
What?
Dude, she said it's
How
like
much do you think
1,000,
that will
but I might have
cost?
to up it because that math it's brutal.
Yeah, math, it's a tough one. But if you're going to be a tournament angler, you're going to have to probably get good at the math at some point. But here's a little tip. If you're going to bribe a teacher, don't talk about it publicly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys. Well, Logan, I think those are, that's a pretty incredible duo to have as your champions.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And Jackson, he's got some big shoes to fill attending Briarwood Christian, home of, the man Tucker Smith. But I mean, he's already right on track winning a big tournament like this in ninth grade with 3 years left. I think we're gonna hear his name for a while to come.
I've run a Yamaha outboard for over 30 years. It has got me home safe each and every time. If you enjoy this podcast, remember, Yamaha supports it and they care enough about you to make this ad read very short. Now back to the show.
Pretty incredible and very grounded. But that's not all. You gave away more stuff. And we'll bring in that dude right now. Who are we meeting now?
Jacob. My name's Jacob Jerrell.
Jacob,
what's up, man?
What's going on?
Has it sink in yet that you're
A little bit, but whenever I wake up and I look at my phone and I look at the pictures and I'm like, wow, it really happened. So it was crazy.
So what exactly happened, Logan? Maybe you can set the scene for me.
Yeah, so my wife actually came up with a really unique and cool way to do the drawing this year for the winner of the boat. So every angler that comes in for the trophy presentation, and hey, pro tip, maybe if you put on a tournament that's catch, weigh, release, if you want people to show up to the weigh-in, give a boat away. So everyone that came back from the tournament, all the anglers, they had to get a ticket when they came in the door and check their name off the list. And we put all those tickets in a big raffle box, and we mix them all up and mix them up. And I pulled one ticket, handed it to our MC, and then he read all of, and so most of these raffle tickets, they have 6 or 7 numbers on it. So he read all but the last number, which meant there was 10 anglers, that had potentially the winning ticket. We had all 10 of them come up to the stage, and actually we had 12 come up because they couldn't quite read that well. And we had to get the 2 imposters out of there. And then we kind of whittled them down, and we did some fun stuff. Like if you have an even number, hit the road, and then if your number's over 5, unfortunately you did not win. And we got all the way down to 2 anglers. Jacob was one of them. And so we had them, kind of get over towards the boat, climb up on the front deck of the boat, interviewed them, about this moment. And then we announced the winning digit of the last number of the ticket. And Jacob was the last man standing.
And Jacob, I watched it. That's a bad analogy. You were not the last man standing because as soon as you won, you were no longer standing. Tell me what went through your mind you're standing in a fully rigged boat that is full of tackle.
Unbelievable feeling. One of the biggest highs of my life, really. It's sinking a little, but it's still hard to put words to some, the feeling of that. Honestly, I thought when I watched the video again, some of the things I did in the video, I can't really remember much. I kind of blacked out a little, but it was just, I don't know. It was insane, really. So it was very blessing, honestly. Very blessing.
Hey, are you a lucky guy? Have you won a lot of stuff in your life?
I mean, the last raffle that I really won big was like a $500, shopping spree, but that's about it. Other than that, I haven't won much at all, really. Leading up to kind of that event, there was a lot of lows. So a lot of lows.
So do you physically have the boat yet, or what? How does that all work?
I think Logan's gonna use it a little bit more. It sounds like he might be doing some pre-practicing, so which I'm all fine with. I don't care.
Yeah, you got a free boat. You can wait a little bit longer to get it.
You go ahead. No,
last year I just gave my boat away as soon as the tournament was over, and then with getting the boat set up and rigged, it took so long to get my new boat ready to go. I completely missed out on a big part of the pre-practice period for the I never got to pre-practice for the Classic. I also, got married, and so that was a lot of my December there. Yeah. But we're going to make sure that Jacob gets the boat when the new boat is here and rigged, which will probably be about a month or so. But it's going to give me plenty of time to go scope out the Tennessee River. But Jacob, you have a pretty cool story, about the NSANE Tournament, coming last year as a high school angler and who you fished with and what he's doing now. And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So last year, I had a friend, Grady Stanley and Levi Stanley, who I ended up meeting on a cruise like 2 years before, and we just stayed in touch. Well, they told me about Logan's tournament, and they kind of convinced me. Well, my dad was still on the fence a little because I'd be missing a week of school, and it's a 10-hour drive back, up in Indiana. So once Logan posted about his boat being, he's raffling away a boat, kind of like, at that time we were kind of looking for a boat. So I was like, well, join it and we'll see what happens. I mean, and then in practice, I was just practicing like any other high schooler, trying to get their ranking up. And I was lucky and fortunate enough that Caleb Hudson drafted me, from USC Union. And I never even knew about USC Union until Caleb drafted me, and I asked him about it, and he told me about the program, about Coach Kuhn and everybody here. And I was very interested after that. And then I scheduled a visit and came visited. So, and then the following year, then I ended up committing later after talking with my parents and everything, get everything figured out. And then the following year, I seen Logan was doing, having a tournament again back on Lake Martin, and I really didn't know if I wanted to fish it, honestly, because I was a freshman. I'm a freshman in college, and looking at it from a high schooler standpoint, I didn't really want to take a high schooler out because, my fishing knowledge isn't up to what some of these other college anglers are yet. So I felt like I could have been selling the high schooler short possibly, but
no.
But but luckily I signed up, and when I seen he was giving away an open spot, I was like, you know what? It might as well. There's so much opportunity with that event. I might as well sign up. Ended up signing up. It was the only one from USC Union, but I think next year we'll have more. Signed up, ended up doing it as a college angler. It's just a different perspective. Practicing is a little different, and then there's just more stress. I think it's a more strategy as a college angler. And then in the draft, actually Grady told me about this Nolan kid. Nolan Clark from North Carolina, and he was like, you should draft him. He's a pretty good shallow angler. And I was like, well, that's probably one of my biggest weaknesses right there. So I ended up drafting him, and he taught me some, and I think I taught him some too. We really had a tough day out in the water that day, and I was very down in the dumps when we came back. And I was like, well, I told my mom, I was like, I can do everything wrong this week in fishing, but if the one thing I do right is show up to the trophy presentation, get a ticket, have a chance, then I'll be all right. So luckily I showed up, and then once I got the ticket and he called the first numbers out, the rest is kind of history then. It's just crazy.
You called your parents as soon as you won. I saw that video, and I heard you, and then I heard nothing. Obviously, you didn't say anything for a while, and obviously your mother was reacting on the other end of the phone. What did she say?
She was watching it live, and my dad was driving back from Illinois after deer hunting with my brother. And so she wanted to call them to tell them I have like a chance watch, but she was watching on her phone and she didn't want to go off the live stream. So I talked to my dad, and I guess she was watching it, and I guess as soon as I got up on the boat, she was thinking I got like a 50-50 chance. I guess as soon as I won, I guess she was jumping up and down, freaking out. The dog, I guess, was looking at her like, "What are you doing?" So, and then she started calling everybody. My dad pulled over and watched it, and it was.
Was your dad still skeptical about you participating in the NSANE tournament?
Not anymore. No, he said I've had a smile on my face ever since I got that phone call from your mom. But I was like, yeah. So it's been awesome.
Is that your coach over there in the background?
Yeah, well, Coach Kuhn right there, and then we got another teammate there, Peyton Sargent, another freshman. So they're all sitting in on watching. So
very cool, very cool. What's the first? Do you have a planned fishing trip for the first? Like where are you taking the boat first?
We're probably gonna go to Greenwood and see if we can catch us a few spotted bass there. Put some slime on the carpet.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about buying or getting Logan's boat is the live wells are hard to use. I'm sorry, Logan. It was just too easy, and obviously that is a lie. But a big week for you, but also a big week for your former partner in this event, Caleb Hudson. Went and won on Okeechobee, qualifying for the Bassmaster Classic, and along the way qualified for the Elite Series. So you got the boat now, and incredible. It was incredible to see other than telling somebody they'd be insane not to be part of this event, why should people take part in this event in the future?
The opportunity to meet colleges and learn from different anglers and talk to different anglers that fish in different bodies of waters. That's probably one of the biggest things is opportunity this tournament has. The opportunity that is there is very big, massive.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite parts about this story is you going last year and never even hearing about USC Union and ending up signing on with them and with Coach Kuhn back there. He's got you recruited all the way from Indiana. I mean, that's a pretty far drive down there to Union, South Carolina. So it's a big leap for you. And I think that's really what the event is all about is, networking and recruitment. And that's a really, really cool story to me.
Yeah, it's crazy how everything kind of comes together.
College fishing in general is insane to me. This event is insane, but it's insane that I'm having a conversation. Like literally, I remember when people started saying, the one day people are going to get scholarships and this is going to be big and there's going to be the fact that I'm actually having a conversation with someone and you've got your coach behind you and stuff coaches initially in college fishing, it was like, well, sure, this guy will volunteer some time. He kind of likes fishing, but it is amazing to see the impact that our sport is having on people like yourself and whether they fish professionally like Logan does in the future, or they go on to work in the industry or they go on to work outside of the industry. It's cool to know that you guys, you're living the best. Like this is a dream life 10 years ago. Like you look at legends from the college program, like Jordan Lee. College fishing is unfathomable. Like it's unfathomable how far it's come from Jordan Lee's days. And that wasn't that long ago. So it's amazing. So thank you. Thank you, Coach. What was it? Coach Kuhn?
Coach Kuhn, yeah.
That's a hell of a coach name right there.
Coach Kuhn, he won the giant. I don't know what it was. Felt like it was a 500 quart Yeti raffle.
160 quart Yeti, yeah.
Y'all fill it all the way up with all those Berkeley baits in the compartment?
Yeah, completely filled up, and we couldn't even. Still had leftover boxes that were plumb full of tackle too.
Wow.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Coach, are you going to send a few more teams next year now that your one angler was the one angler drawn for the boat giveaway?
I don't think we'll have an issue getting people to volunteer now. we did have another guy supposed to come to the event. He lost his lower unit at Clarksville 2 days before we were supposed to leave.
Well, he lost his lower unit, but
we gained one.
Jacob gained one.
Minus one lower unit, now plus one lower unit.
Yeah, that worked out pretty good. Well, thank you guys. Congratulations, Coach Kuhn. Thank you for everything you're doing and all the coaches that are involved. This event is truly insane, and congrats, Jacob.
Right,
enjoy the boat. Will you take me for a ride sometime?
Alrighty.
I will work it out.
Let's go.
All right. Take care, guys. Thank you. Well, Logan, you named the event right. It is insane. Wild. I can't wait to see the future.
Man. Yeah, pretty cool.
Wow. Very cool. Very insane. And the world needs more people doing things like you're doing. So thank you.
Yeah, dude. I appreciate it, Dave. Thanks for everything you did. I know that you maybe bit off a little more than you thought you were chewing when I asked you to do a little hype videos for the draft, and
they're fine.
And just hearing those parents and those kids talk about those videos this week, they were so excited. It really made them feel special. And I think if there's more people out there doing things like this, and instead of, hopping on social media and talking about negative things and bringing down the sport, that's what we need. So I just, try to encourage the next generation of the sport and be positive, because it's a lot more fulfilling.
It's real easy to point fingers and say, these young kids, it's real easy to point, those young kids, what are they doing? When you see the impact it's having on people like we just saw firsthand, if you don't see what this is doing, you need to get yourself a set of bifocals or something, because it's amazing what the sport is being like. Just the fact that this is like, it's not shocking for a kid to go to school fishing. Like it's wild. It's amazing.
It's changed a lot. It's crazy how much the growth is, and like we had some of the coaches on the live stream during the event talking about the recruiting process, and that was unbelievable to me to hear, Liam Worley of Lander and Hunter Sales of Carson Newman University. I mean, they were talking about, you should see our office. We have whiteboards with anglers' names on them of targets. And, they're looking at our participants going into this event and trying to get their college anglers to draft them so that they can, find out if that angler's got what it takes. And that's what's so cool about it. Like most high school tournaments, or all of them really, it's a high school angler, his partner, and his boat captain. And it could be any one of those factors. It could be that they hired a guide every week before every tournament. Like, you don't know. So to give them the opportunity to single out those anglers one-on-one and get in a boat with them and learn from them and see how good they are. I mean, this is, the pinnacle of high school and college recruiting right here that we're building. And I think we're going to see more and more scholarships signed because of it.
Yeah, and by the sounds of things, you get a lot of emails about it.
I do.
Thanks, dude. I promised an insane episode, and I might be insane, but I believe we delivered. I mean, we had John Cox talking about an otter riding a giant bass. Logan Parks gave his boat away, and we had an actor from Stranger Things on. That is an insane episode. I thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Do all those things that help stroke the algorithm and keep the grow going with this little show that could. And remember, call your friends. Say hello. Everybody is fighting a battle. Just because you can't see it, sometimes a phone call to a buddy can change their life. Have a great week. Enjoy being. And as always, Bob Kopp, take it away.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because Bob Cobb of the Bassmasters told you to. You hear?